I'm in a hurry. I'm on my way to work. See, I haven't even really spoken yet today. But I haven't really been putting out a lot of content as of late. That is mostly due to the fact that I have next to no time. But it also has to do with the unfortunate situation in children's media, which is that really nothing is happening at the moment. So I felt like, what am I gonna do? But I've come to realize that something that I really enjoy and something that you really seem to enjoy is me talking about Harry Potter. Duh. So I was like, why not just do it on a regular basis? What I want to do is talk about unpopular opinions that I have regarding Harry Potter. I feel like I have a lot of unpopular opinions. There's a lot of characters that I like or dislike that most people then dislike or like. Today I want to start with a very complex and difficult character, Percy Weasley. Percy Weasley is generally, I think, regarded as a kind of traitor, as, you know, that one Weasley kid that is in a way the black sheep, that didn't really appreciate his family, that was very arrogant, that fraternized with the ministry, all kinds of bad things. I'm here today to defend Percy Weasley with everything I have. I want to explain why people are maybe a bit too hard on him. Okay, so I think the one trait that he has that people criticize most is the fact that he's very arrogant. I mean, yeah, but I would say it's really mostly ambition that we see. I think, you know, we see it all through Harry's and even Ron's eyes. We kind of see their opinion of Percy, who's always this overachiever who wants to do it all. This is very, very easily interpretable as arrogance, and it is up to an extent, but I think he was just trying to achieve things that he believed in, and generally that is not a bad thing. Actually, in many regards, I think Percy shares a lot of traits with Ron. I think they both suffer from the same struggle, that is having these amazing older brothers. But in contrast to Ron, Percy had a different way of coping with this struggle. He at some point stopped trying to find validation in his actual family, in his blood family, and went to a place that his family maybe didn't absolutely approve of or criticize heavily, you know, kind of as a counter-reaction, and that was the Ministry of Magic. So he kind of starts at the Ministry, he is really into his job, he's really into being able to show what he can do, and, you know, when the time comes and everyone has to decide whether they're on the Ministry side for the time being or Harry's, he chooses the Ministry. And this might come as a surprise to many or not, because they think, well, of course, Percy never really liked the Weasleys, and Percy has always been a suck-up and kind of wanted to just be successful. But, I mean, it's not that simple. I mean, yes, of course, Percy has been horrible to his family members, but really, his family members had it coming because they were horrible to him, in my opinion. When he kind of strives starting at the Ministry, quite a high position very early on in his career, and when he shares, you know, especially in the fourth book, when he shares all of the things that he does, no one ever really cares. Actually, even the opposite, they make fun of him. I mean, you know, he writes essays and he studies kettles and how they work, and I mean, that is serious business. He even explains why, and it makes a lot of sense. And everyone's just like, ugh, Percy, you're so stupid. What the hell? He's just trying to do his thing, and he expects his family members, who generally are so loving and so caring to everyone, he just kind of wants them to be happy for him as well, and they're just not. They just keep telling him how stupid he is. And I feel like this sets into motion this very vicious circle of people just being mean to each other in this family, you know, Percy versus the rest of the family. So I think Percy just hasn't really been able to feel at home in his family, and I don't really see a problem there. Sometimes just your family is not the right place for you, and that's okay. Maybe they're just not your people, that's fine. Just because you're blood related doesn't mean you have to be forever connected. And then there's this other place, the Ministry of Magic, that kind of abuses his longing for validation and for appreciation, and they're like, yeah, let's have this new guy do all the work, and then later let's maybe even use him as a spy, which, you know, he was just not able to see that, because for the first time in his life he actually received some kind of appreciation for what he was doing. And of course it's horrible considering what happened to Harry. It's horrible that Percy wasn't empathetic enough to kind of consider all sides. He wasn't, you know, you have to critically engage not just with your family, with your normal institution that you live in, the family institution, but also the other thing that maybe you're entering that seems so alluring and great but might also be rotten somewhere. You have to be critical of all of these things. Percy wasn't. And of course, at the end of the series, Percy redeems himself. You know, he comes back during the Battle of Hogwarts. He's realised his mistakes. He tells them what a horrible prick he's been. And in part, those apologies and those insights are really important and help him grow as a character. But in part, it's also really dissatisfying, and it's one of the most annoying endings to any of the characters in the books, in my opinion. Yes, Percy has not been able to see past his, you know, own problems, his own shortcomings. He has not been able to see this. He was not able to dissect the Ministry critically, but at the same time, this was not just his fault, it was also his family's fault. So he comes there, he apologizes, he realizes his mistakes, and there's like no sympathetic word back. There's like, you know, his family, the rest of his family, apart, you know, I think his parents are kind of maybe a bit more insightful, but the rest, they're like not even trying to see where they might have been at wrong, maybe trying to find blame on their side, and I think that is horrible. So Percy is a complex person. He was a git at times, but he was not a horrible, evil character. He was just a person who was ambitious but arrogant, who was in this family that didn't appreciate him, and because of that he maybe didn't feel at home, who then in the end was able to see his shortcomings but didn't receive anything in return. And I think he's kind of being vilified too much by readers and fans of the series for that. And I think people should view him more as the complex person that he is, rather than be like, ugh, Percy, the stupid Weasley brother.